Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I am at an indescript industrial location somewhere in Los Angeles, and I am going to discuss with you a movie I saw, well, so sick that I couldn't film, and that is the 2019 release of Doctor Sleep. Now, Doctor Sleep is the sequel to the much beloved film The Shining. And I have actually never seen the entirety of The Shining. Having had the entire film spoiled for me kind of has something to do with that, but I believe The Shining is on the 1001 films to see before you die list. So, there is a lot of noise in that background. So, I have to watch those in order. Working on that one for you folks. But it is a film where a young family go to a secluded hotel that is, of course, empty. And this empty hotel, tries to eat them, kind of. So the survivors of this, one of them has become, I guess, the character Dr. Sleep. I'm not sure even what that title means at this point, but yes, so he is a person that has the shine, which is a superpower, or you're essentially a superhero of some kind. Most of these superpowers are somewhat subtle. The ability to make people do what you want, the ability to communicate over distances. And there is a cult in this film that eat shiners. They purify and remove the shine and use it to sustain their life. And then there are the survivors of the first movie who are saying that maybe killing people because they're superheroes isn't a good thing. So this is the world we're dropped into, and what's going on in this particular world of Shine is that we've got one faction trying to stop another faction from doing something really, really evil. And of course, they can't back down and they can't run away because they, being shiners, means that, the shine makes you trackable. All right. Now, I have to say that this is a solid movie. The maybe 3 or 4 main characters are very memorable. I enjoyed this film. I appreciate the fact that, look, if you're going to have your big bad bugly, there have to be more of your big bad bugly. The world doesn't work in vacuums. There are very few instances in human history where there has been a true anomaly. Most anomalies, there are more instances of that. I mean, there are things where it's like, okay, there's this one person who had this really weird metabolism, caused them to eat everything and cannibalize and whatever have you, and so on and so forth. And again, that makes perfect sense. But it's like, in a world, if there is a world where Jason Voorhees can exist, there should be more than one. There should be more than one undead monster running around hacking people to bits, because that's how the world works. So I appreciate the fact that there's almost, or sort of there were, societies of these shiners. Although, I would appreciate there being non-shiners that are like, I've heard about this thing and I've read about it and I've been looking into it. So that didn't happen in the film. But again, I remember watching the original The Shining. I did not see the whole thing, but I saw most of it, and it was a pretty trippy movie. Which is, I like trippy movies. I like brain benders. This movie is a lot less cerebral. It explains some of the first. It gives you a level of closure if you're a fan of the first. But I think that if you're not a fan of the first, and I mean that's a small category, you're going to feel a little flat. You're going to feel a little like, what is going on here? Because there are a lot of references to the first movie. The movies, almost you have to watch them as one big movie. They're so intertwined and linked that they can't be separated. So there it is. I mean, if you are a fan of The Shining, you definitely have to watch this movie. If you are not, but you are a horror movie aficionado, putting this movie on your watch list is definitely a good idea. I was satisfied with this movie when I walked out of the theater. I enjoyed it. Didn't make me jump for joy, but it wasn't bad either. Anyway, just my opinion. Love to hear yours. I'm Richard.
Hello folks, I'm Fred the Facehugger, reminding you to like and comment on this video. Subscribe if you haven't already, because if you don't, Random Street Theater might not be around forever. And for every 1,000 subscribers, we're going to take a pound of trash out of the ocean. We don't have that many yet, so get subscribing. Tell your friends, or I facehug you. Mwah!